I was chastised over the last week from many quarters because in last week's video I said I did not want a maid to come into the house a few days a week because it's a lot easier to get a woman to come into your house than to get her to leave. I heard from a variety of different voices that was an impolitic thing to say, and I apologize if I made anybody uncomfortable with that comment. It was intemperate of me. These things are done in one take, off the top of my head, and maybe sometimes I'll have to apologize. But what I probably should have said is, Steve is an only child of a single parent. As we have established, Steve does not share. He particularly does not enjoy sharing his living space, except with my children. The only great roommates I've ever had have been my children. But otherwise, no, I don't share. I am antisocial. I am a misanthrope. And that's probably what I should have said. But that was the most common criticism over the last week. The second most common criticism, it was pointed out to me, I get way more viewers if I title a video project Money than I do if I title it A Cultural and Spiritual Journey. I guess that goes without saying, or it should. Probably the most views I would ever get would be on a video called How to Get a Free Blowjob in Pattaya. But I don't know how to get a free blowjob in Pattaya. If I did, I probably would not be sitting here right now. But the other part of that is I would like women to watch these videos. I would like Thai people to watch these videos. The Thai vlogosphere at the moment is a Farang sausage fest. It's guys, it's white dudes giving their impressions of this country. Thai people are not represented unless they're vendors or cooks or taxi drivers. Women are not represented unless they are in a bikini draped across the subject of whatever the man is talking about this week. And I think probably if women and Thai people are not represented in the videos themselves, they're not going to be represented in the viewership, in the audience. And I would like Thai people to enjoy my videos. I would like women to enjoy my videos. So I have steered away from any discussion of the commercial sex industry. Last week, I mentioned my sporadic involvement with the commercial sex industry, which for the most part was 25 years ago as a journalist. I had a column every week in The Nation that was about life on Phuket, and the commercial sex industry is a large part of life on Phuket. So I would talk about the commercial sex industry, and once a week I would go to Soi Bangla and just wander up and down the street, drink free orange juice in every bar on the street, talk to the managers, talk to the girls, talk to the punters, and get stories for my column. So my involvement has predominantly always been that of an observer rather than a participant. Frankly, I haven't always had the money to be a participant on the consumer end, and nobody has ever offered me money to be on the production end of it. Having come back now after 25 years away, a certain amount of these videos is supposed to be, intended to be, about my impressions. What has changed in southern Thailand in 25 years? What has changed in Thailand in general in 25 years? And as such, I've gone to Phuket shopping a few times. I've gone to Phuket to see friends a few times. And I've gone back to Soi Bangla, or Soi Spider-Man on Kata Beach, and had some orange juice. Nobody gives it to me free anymore. It used to be they all read my column and everybody wanted to give me free orange juice. They wanted to be mentioned in my column. Those days are long over. I have to pay for my orange juice now, and typically pay for a woman's drink so that she'll go sit at the other end of the bar and leave me alone so I can watch and listen and take notes. But even so, I have interacted with the women working in the commercial sex industry these days in 2022. And there is a profound difference. Now, I've heard other men who do participate as consumers in that industry bemoan the fact that it used to be the very prettiest women in the kingdom, among the poor of the kingdom, who went into the industry. Now, of course, you know, a pretty girl has a lot of other options. She can work in a car dealership. She can work for an ad agency. She can be PR. She can be a pretty at an auto show. She can be guest relations in a hotel. You know, in the age of COVID, it's much fewer options. But overall, the sex industry is not the last resort that it once was, or it is the last resort among a much broader field of choices. So I think I don't like to objectify women. I'm not going to comment on what the women working in the industry today look like compared to what they looked like 25 years ago. But I think it's clear there are options for attractive women in this country that weren't there 25 years ago. But the big noticeable change in a place where everything has remained the same. You buy me drink, you buy my friend drink, you play Connect 4, you play dominoes, you like this video, what music do you like? We'll put it on the TV. All of that stuff is exactly the same. The street vendors are selling the same crappy food out of their samlaws on soy bangla or on soy Spider-Man that they were 25 years ago. The big change that I have noticed is that the women in the industry no longer consider it part of their job to stroke a man's ego. There's no more flattery. There's no more, hey, sexy man, where you go? There's no more admiration for the hair on your arms. There's no more bringing of cool cloths, payen, and washing your face for you. There's no more remembering how you like your drink or your food and making sure you get it that way the next time. There's none of that. There's none of that I have seen in the last 3 months on Phuket. Of course, Turtle Beach has no commercial sex industry, so there's nothing to report from Turtle Beach, but I go to Phuket now and then. I used to think that was intuitive, that women, female human beings, were born knowing how to stroke a man's ego. What a marvelous evolutionary advantage that is. The children of a woman who knows how to stroke a man's ego have a much greater chance of survival in a primitive world than those of women who don't. And you see today, there are old men who are long past their sexual vigor who will pay for a young woman's time simply to have their ego caressed. Because we never, ever stop being fueled by ego. We are not fueled by lust. We are not fueled by greed. We are not fueled by ambition, except as those are props in the drama of our own ego. We want to feel big and strong. We want to feel important. I want to feel funny. I want a woman to laugh at my jokes. That's what I pay her for. I pay her to laugh at my jokes. That's what drives Steve's ego. And I had always thought that women simply knew how to do that, and as soon as they entered the commercial sex industry, they began to use those skills to their advantage. Every single woman I met in the industry back in the day would try to flatter my ego. And I would see them and hear them doing the same with other men. Not so today in my experience. I don't hear it, I don't see it, I don't experience it. And okay, Steve's not the young, handsome man he was. Steve's not the wealthy man he was when he came here in 1988. But even so, I have a few shekels in my pocket, and like any man, I could be separated from those shekels easily by inflating my ego. Sex doesn't even need to be involved. And I would have thought that was intuitive, that was something women were born knowing. And in 3 months, that's the first time I've seen another human being in this deserted restaurant. I think we'll leave each other alone. At any rate, that is the big change that I have seen. And I don't know what it means. I don't know if women growing up poor in Thailand today don't have men around on the farm in Khon Kaen and don't see their mothers flattering their father's egos. Are the movies they're watching, the TV shows, the music they're listening to telling them that that's not something they should do? I don't know. I did not grow up in that environment. I don't live in that environment. I don't know what young women in poor provinces, what messages they're getting growing up. But that is gone from the sector. That is gone from the marketplace, as far as I can tell. All right, that's my time. You've been very patient. As always, I appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and please share these videos if you think they have any worth at all. That is, the algorithm is supposed to like that, and certainly it strokes Steve's ego if you do. Thank you. วัดดีครับวัดดี